Hey guys, I wanted to make another video today to maybe try and continue this series that tried to start yesterday, or to just kind of keep a daily upload going. I don't know if I can really sustain that because I mean I don't want to just say fluff and all that shit. If I have something to say, I want to be able to share it, and so I want to share content that is actually content, and like so we'll see how this daily thing goes, if I can keep it up or if it falls off. I might just end up making my videos have a title and just keep it at the title or whatever, and not maybe maybe don't do series, basically troubleshooting my own YouTube videos, and take you guys along for the ride for that. I know right now I don't get a whole lot of views on YouTube, but it's like I want to kind of see where all that goes, and it might um it might change eventually, and yeah, just kind of put content out there for whatever reason. If people find things I say useful, or if I can engage in sort of broader discussions and contribute or have takes on things, and and just kind of have you guys follow along with, think my thought process or development of ideas and stuff. So, okay, enough of that. So um, one thing I'll get into is basically like I think with the daily discussions is I'll be able to talk about dreams and stuff. Because I've sort of been having um, I've been having dreams. I tend to have like one or two dreams per night. It's not. It's like almost fairly. It's fairly common at this point, and I don't think it's always that way. I had to do things to prioritize sleep a little bit, quite a bit more to enable me to have more dreams. I feel like, and um, and yeah, and so I have things in my dreams that are like, um, it's like I have these dreams, and it's like I try to decipher what to glean from them or whatever, and sometimes it's not explicitly obvious, and so like last night I had a dream about, um, I had two dreams, and one of the dreams was about, it was like I was talking to Andrew Huberman, who's this was a very short dream. This was a very short dream. I was talking to Andrew Huberman, and he's someone who's gained quite a bit of popularity, and he's someone who gives a lot of advice to people about like neuroscience and like supplements and diet and lifestyle and stuff like that, and he talks about a lot of different stuff like psychedelics or cold therapy and saunas and all different kinds of things, topics, and he has his own podcast, and yeah, he but he's networked with people like David Goggins, Jocko. I think he's probably networked with Jocko. I don't know, but Jordan Peterson, um, Cameron Haynes. A lot of different people, and so I've sort of known about him for a while. But let me get to this dream. So, Andrew Huberman, you can look him up on YouTube. But anyways, so this dream is like I was talking to him, and it's basically like he didn't really say much to me that I can really recall at this moment, but it was more so like I was talking to him about David Goggins, and I was talking like what if I had the money, I would buy David Goggins his own boat, like the type of boat that they would lift in the Navy SEALs. I would buy him his own boat that, because it that he could have at his gym or whatever, and that he could have, and it was just, that was just sort of like a wish that I sort of made within a dream. Or I was like, what if I could, if I had the money to do so, or like, you know given the right circumstance, if I had the money or whatever, it's something I would want to do. Is I personally would want to get David Goggins his own boat, for exercise. To, because his thing is, who's gonna carry the boats and the logs, and so it's like just pay tribute to that message that he's put out there. And so yeah, that was one dream. And then um, the other dream, it wasn't quite of that effect. It was kind of more. It was kind of more. It was this sort of strange dream where it was like, um, it was more so about the carnivore diet, the diet that I follow, I guess, the diet that I practice, and so at least the meat, eating meat only, so a strict form of a carnivore diet. And so in this dream, it was like I was eating, I was out with family or something like that, and people, and like um we were eating, or like they, it was like because of the strict diet, uh I I often can't really I don't eat alongside other people a lot of the times, unless it's a restaurant that cooks steak or burger patties or something. Then there might be an exception to that, but even then, some of those places I don't, I wouldn't want to, you know, get meat from, because they cook, how they cook it in oils and stuff, and I just don't want to deal with that, and seasoning and blah blah blah. But it was like, it was a dream like this, and in the dream, it was like I had a voice, or it was something that was like, it was like I left the restaurant and left the people there, and I was out wandering to find maybe a different place to eat or something. And there's a voice that was telling me that it was like I fell for a trap or something, telling me that I fell for a trap, um, in regards to the diet, and like um, it's one thing I don't quite know what it means right now. I try to understand it, but it's more so like, I don't know if it's telling me that the whole carnivore diet thing is fucked up, and I shouldn't do it, if that's what it was telling me, or like I fell for something. And but I I've gotten to a point where, like, even if something tells me something, it's like I don't really have to, buy it 100% just because something says something or whatever. I, because I feel like how I feel is like the carnivore diet is still better. You know, I just, I prefer it in so many different ways, that how I feel when I do it, being able to lose weight, and I keeping me away from binging on junk food, and so having that, or just sort of being able to discern and make the decision that, okay, even if something tells me something, like in a dream, some voice or something, like I don't know what, um, tells me something, I can still choose for myself, and And it's a strange thing, um, but that was just one dream. So I guess I'll just put it out there and talk about it a little bit. And and then another thing I wanted to talk about, given these videos and stuff, is like stuff I've been doing lately. And um, so I've read some books um, within the past year or so, and maybe even longer than that. But a book I recently finished was Undeniable by Cameron Hanes. And in that book, it's his second book. Cameron Hanes is an ultramarathon runner, a hunter, archer, and I in that book is basically a distillation of things he's learned from all the different guests on his podcast and outliers in the world and stuff, and basically trying to take lessons that he's learned from people and put it into a book. So that's what he did. And so I read that book, and I felt like I really like I listened to it on an audiobook, and that's how I've listened to a few books. Listening to books can be a lot more convenient, and uh I for me, reading books manually, or like reading the words off the page and sitting there, I can still do that, but I think audiobooks helps me get through books a lot quicker. So I got through his book, and so and I got through his first book not too long ago, it feels like, and then I also read Goggins' first and second book as well. And Goggins and Cameron Hanes to me are relevant to each other because they're similar in a way. That, I mean, they do similar things. They work out in a similar way. I think they're both natty, um, and as pretty much as natty as they can be. I would assume natty, but who knows if they. I definitely not like blatant steroid use or anything like that. But what I'm trying to get at is like they both work out, they run ultra marathons. They've written these books. They've hung out together and stuff. And so me right now in my life is like I I've just sort of watched this, and I I've done some stuff in my own life at influenced by Goggins, like um and I still try to do stuff. Um and right now, I mean, you can see I got a little bit of fat or whatever. Like I got weight to lose and stuff, and I can definitely be in better shape and all that. And you know, I know that where I'm at isn't really the destination, and that I can look ahead to have goals and shit. So that's what I plan. You know, that's what I do, I guess. And so uh, reading reading their books has sort of inspired me, especially Goggins. Cameron Hanes definitely bolsters that quite heavily. This and there are people that live it, that have extreme amounts of discipline, hard work. Um, Cameron Hanes, listening to this sort of stuff is like, I think a lot of people don't do it. A lot of people don't listen to Goggins. A lot of people don't listen to Cameron Hanes. A lot of people don't stuff like that because it's like it's almost it can at times be almost difficult because it really confronts you with yourself, or some things they say can be intense or whatever. And like um for better or worse, like uh they'll say things that that didn't really affect me in the past, but now kind of I feel like resonate in a way that is like, okay, that message kind of stings now, to where in the past I didn't have an issue with it. Where where Cameron will be talking about someone who, maybe they put in so much work that they're running marathons, or like they're running ultra marathons, but they're also working a full time job, or like 10-hour days or something like that, and putting in miles after work, and doing a marathon a day and stuff like that. And it really makes you confront you with yourself, because he's talking about how that some people, they don't have it so easy, to the point where they can just uh recover nicely, and blah blah blah, and have all day to recover, and then go back out there again. And I resonated with that, because it's like, damn, because I've been in a place, well, it's like, I'm not entirely one or the other, but like, I lately, I've sort of, I can, the whole thing where it's like, you know taking the gentle approach, putting in work, recovering, then putting in work more. Like, that's sort of what I've been doing lately. Is like, I just sort of, but it's not entirely true, but and, and that's what I do. But it's like, in part it is, because, and I think a message like that is, a lot of people don't want to hear something like that, or they don't want to hear about people who run a marathon, 30 miles or something like that, after work, and blah blah blah, after working a hard ass day at work or whatever. And people don't like to hear shit like that. And uh, people being able to put up with that for, or do that for a while, it makes, I think that sort of thing is a hard message for people, because it's like, it it makes you sort of like compare yourself maybe to other people. Obviously other people can work harder and shit like that. And it's a inconvenient, uncomfortable fact, is that, like, sometimes you might be going for a walk or something, knowing that there's other people who are sprinting, or like doing a long run and stuff, and it's um and that can be a metaphor, for things. Maybe you're strumming a guitar, and practicing, and you're fucking up, and all this, and then you see people that have huge audiences and shit, and people that, whatever, you know who get a lot of people at their shows or whatever, and um have a successful band or whatever. And so it's like, there's different levels to shit. And what's even more humbling is, with Cameron Haynes, is like, his son Truett. He's about my age. He's like, I think he's like a year or two older. And that fucking kid has been running ultra marathons, 100-mile races, he qualified for Boston running in jeans. He's broken Goggins pull-up record, and he's often running. He works, and I don't know if he quit his job, but he definitely, yeah. Uh, I think he drives a truck, all different types of shit. He's got a nice marriage or something, girlfriend, and like, we can compare ourselves to this shit. And or like, I see people that are even younger than me, and they're successful in music and blowing up and getting sick, getting popular or whatever. And like, that can be very humbling in a way, because like, you know it's like I don't think I would want to be them, but the fact that there's something about it that's like I have to give them props. I have to give them credit. Like, damn, whatever the fuck they're doing is working for them, and I have to give credit for that shit, you know. And I know where I'm at right now. I don't have commercial albums of music. I don't even have like shitty. I have like one mixtape or not even a mix. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. An EP. I don't know what to fucking call it. Just a string of music on SoundCloud that I made one time, and that's pretty much all I have uploaded for the most part. And you know, thinking about to what have I created, and or like what work do I have to show and stuff like that. And it's like I haven't competed in any official races and running, and um, so um, but I mean, what I have done, some people might know this, probably essentially everyone else doesn't, but I've ran 40 miles before in a single day. I've done 30 miles several times in a day, but that was years ago. And so it's like, you know, what have I done lately? What have I done today? You know, and um, I've had to, a lot of my life is going to look different from most people probably. And like, um, for better or worse, you know, and like pretty much like I I you know, I still have goals and stuff, and I like to reach for them and put in work towards them. And um but it just looks different. Like the diet I do of just eating meat and sustain trying to sustain that diet for the long term, you know, for years. And and then, you know, that diet alone doesn't help me lose all the weight that I want to. I mean, it helps all across the board, but like it doesn't like um it doesn't take the weight off for me all the way. It helped me lose weight, like a good amount of weight, but there's more that I would like to lose. So, you know, I have to tweak the diet, and I've lost weight in the past, and it's like trying to I haven't been able to just mimic what I've done exactly in the past, because what I did in the past was like, you know, I put fucking everything into it. I fucking like I did all kinds of crazy ass maneuvers to be able to do what I did. And now it's like I have to sort of, you know, there's more to learn. And so like what I've done recently is I I have been doing something that I did in the past, but I had to tweak it to be able for me to be able to actually do it and to stay on it. And we'll see how that goes. But so far, I've been able to lose probably maybe about 4 pounds at least. And I just started it a few days ago. And it's been a long time. I've tried several different things, quite a few different things. And to be able to lose weight on a carnivore diet. So, yeah. Um, Traditional calorie counting doesn't really seem to work for me, because it's like the things I do are so specific and shit that it's like I can't just do a cookie cutter ass fucking program to do shit, that I have to kind of develop my own fucking way that like no one else has fucking come up with, or whatever. Like there's no just coach out there that will just give me it's a weird ass thing, there's no fucking because I've listened to quite a bit of people and that is very helpful, but the execution, um you know the the execution of like being able to follow through, or you know maybe what will work for you, and what do you prefer, or like and stuff like that. And so, I've listened to a lot of fucking people, and some stuff I don't want to try, but I understand, like, um in regards to like the carnivore diet, a lot of people will recommend just keto. And what they mean will be like just eat 80% fat calorically. Eat 80 to 90% fat calorically. There's all kinds of different methods and tools and shit people have come up with to try to lose weight on carnivore, and some of it works for people. Some people don't even need that shit. And there's so many different things. There's weight training, there's calorie counting, there's eating ketogenic, there's um did I say exercising already? But a lot of different exercise protocols, steady state cardio, or sprinting, or like uh yeah. And so, or like doing high protein, low fat, doing high fat, low protein. So there's a lot of different messages, and you know, taking it all in, standing back, trying to figure out what to apply and what to practice. That's a whole nother fucking different thing. And so, what I've been doing lately is I've been, I put is a technical ketogenic diet. So, under the under carnivory, or like basically like a carnivore diet that's technically ketogenic and simultaneously and probably low calories. So what that means is basically like so what I'll eat is like a pound of 80/20 ground beef with like 3 tablespoons of butter or something like that. So it's low calorie as fuck, but it's like ketogenic technically. So it has as much protein as I can kind of manage, while being higher on the fat side. So my rule that I came up with is 72% or higher of fat percentage. So the rock bottom amount of protein I can have, or rock bottom amount of fat that I can have in my diet rather, is 72% calorically. So 80% lean ground beef is 72% fat calorically, pretty much. And ribeyes are often 70%, but I don't even fuck with ribeyes, just because, like, some of them are leaner or fattier, whatever, but, So it's prioritizing fat, while I eat, and then protein kind of is follows behind that. So it's like I make sure to satiate myself on the fat first, sort of, and then just um, get in some protein. So that's kind of how it's been looking, and it's been a subtle shift of just being able to like uh, pull a lever, just technically, into keto being ketogenic. And I don't know if it's genuinely ketogenic, but my feeling is that it is, just because I've done so much shit in the past with ketogenic diets that I can kind of tell. And yeah, and um, so Yeah. So I've been able to lose weight in the past few days. Today I woke up at a lighter fucking weight. The scale's been tipping past 180 pound or tipping below 180 pounds. So that's something positive for me. And so um yeah. And so I'll just sort of leave it at that. I think I forgot the weight exactly of what I woke up at, but um, I think it was 177.4 or something. 177.6, maybe 176.4 or some shit. Like I forgot it, but I was like, damn. The scale is continuing to tip, and I didn't even feel like I lost weight. Like I was like, I don't know if it's gonna actually be the same or more, but it was actually less. So I was like, okay, um, let's just continue forward with this, um, and see how it goes. And so the weight loss method that I've been trying to develop and hone in is basically completely fucking different from what pretty much anyone is fucking talking about. And so it's like that's the one thing that is like, um, I mean, I don't want to attach myself to it because it's just, I mean, I don't know. It's just an idea. I don't know. It's like, and we're putting in practice. We're trial and erroring this bitch, and so we're gonna see how this goes. Um, I'd like to get down to 150 pounds. I used to make videos in a similar manner to this. I would make videos losing weight and stuff, and then I eventually sort of had, I don't know if it wasn't really a crash out, but it was just a wild thing, and I ended up putting on weight, falling off the diet, cheating, all this bullshit, a lot of different stuff, and I stopped making videos because it was like when I was putting on weight and stuff, it was like, fuck, I don't want to make videos now, and so I stopped making videos, and so it took me a while to make videos again. And so now that we got the ball rolling again, it kind of motivates me to, get in front of the camera and shit. Like, hey, this is some sort of progress. And to talk even more about that is I've been trying to help like two different people now who I've kind of have gotten to do carnivore to try it, and they've stood on it, or at least one of them got back on it after falling off or whatever. And that's new for me because that is another form of tipping the scales. Like I've tried so hard in the past to like convince people to try carnivore and all this shit, and people don't give a fuck. Whatever, they don't give a fuck at all. And so people want to stuff their they don't want to stuff their faces, but or whatever. I don't know. And so being able to to have two people get on the fucking carnivore diet and have to that they prefer it, that they've stayed with it, that is fucking huge. It's like I finally have sort of passed that threshold of being able to get people to do it, and so that's a huge fucking thing for me. And um I'd like to get more people to do it. And I don't give a fuck if everyone in the fucking world does it or doesn't do it. Honestly, like I think the more people that do it will probably be better. And so yeah, and a lot of people, fuck man, they don't want to. They people. I don't know, man. A lot of people I don't think really even want health, which is a weird thing to consider. But yeah, um, but yeah, I've definitely. So right now my weight 177 or so, 177.4. I want to get to 150. It might take a minute to get there. I don't know how long it'll take, but I've been able to lose weight really fast in the past, but I don't know if it'll be like that this time. But um, usually when I get into ketosis like this, it's usually a good sign, and I just have to stay in ketosis. And I think I figured out the lever of how to get into ketosis and really the simplest, sort of easiest way, I feel like. And so by just tweaking my protein down a little bit and the fat up a little bit, something like that. So, um, so yeah, um, uh, I weight loss fucking journey. Um, I have people tell me a lot like, "Oh, you're not, you're a fine weight." Bullshit, cap. I can definitely, yeah. There's a lot I can talk about in regards to that. I know I can lose weight like shit. I got a double chin going and shit. So, I know what it's like to be like 150 pounds. I've done it before, at least getting to a much better weight. And that is like, that to me is like, I feel like a totally different person. And that's like, it's wild. And, yeah, I can't wait to do that. Um, but it's just getting there, and the journey is really important. And um, so I've I think um, I honestly think the diet is going to be the main lever when it comes to weight loss, and everything will come second, like exercise, um, exercise, and all that shit comes second. The for me, the diet is gonna be the main thing, and I don't want to do mainstream bullshit of cutting calories and eating a normal diet and all that shit. I don't want to do that. Cause I don't. Yeah, it's like I want to do it in a very particular, specific way. Um, because to me it's like, you gotta just do it right, because a lot of these people that just cut weight and get shredded, they just binge out and put on weight extremely fast, and I think that is like, really unhealthy. I think binging after cutting weight and shit is very unhealthy, and I want to make a video about that at some point. And this channel isn't like some fat acceptance channel. I know I got fucking fat on my neck and shit. So it's like, this is, we gotta fucking improve ourselves, and this is gonna be the fun, is, you know working away and making progress towards bettering ourselves. Um So yeah, I don't want to, because some of those people that binge out after they cut like crazy, cut a lot of weight, it's like they they end up looking kind of uncanny, like my fucking face. I don't mean to like really go back to that, but yeah, it's like, yeah. So it's just kind of trying to avoid, you know, I want to avoid cheating primarily and stay on the diet. So that's like a number one, sort of a number one priority. With losing weight is like, I don't want to end up binging and just fall the fuck off and shit. And yeah, with cravings and all kinds of bullshit where, I'm, so I want to, yeah, a really solid, I want to, yeah. So it's taken me a long time to like lose weight, to finally get the scales tipping again. Last time I got the scales tipping is I was doing calorie counting And when I did that, it while doing carnivore, I was able to get the scale to move, but that ended up being I ended up with like headaches and muscle cramps and all kinds of shit, and it was like that made me kind of tap out and ring the bell, sort of thing, honestly. And that was like that was where I fucked up, and I had tried it a few times and I kept fucking up. So I had to go back to the drawing board with this one, and now we're doing higher fat, and I salt the fuck out of my meat too. So if I feel like it, so that helps. That should help too with like hydration and all that shit. I pretty much eat one meal a day, and I feel like I if I eat anything else, it has to keep me in ketosis, and that's pretty much the rule. I can't have too much protein. Protein can knock you out of ketosis, so if you have too much of it. So I learned that, but I don't want to have my protein rock fucking bottom, because that is what the snake diet wizard Cole Robinson does, or has done, is when he does a ketogenic diet, he has the protein rock fucking bottom, and then that just transitioned to his fucking diet right now, the sugar diet, where he has his protein rock fucking bottom, like essentially no fucking protein, veganism, fruitarian, sugarivore diet is pretty much what he's been doing. And yes, he's been able to lose weight, but it's like, dude, at what cost? Him and Mark Bell, they've lost weight, but it's like, oh my god, dude, I don't, whatever this is, no, I don't want to do that shit. A sugar diet where you're just drinking juice and shit, it's like, yeah, you might be able to lose weight, but it's gonna do a lot of other shit too. And fuck that. I do not want to do that shit. So it's like, yeah, hell no. I think Cole Robinson, his prime, his peak is literally like when he's doing ketogenic fucking bacon, pound of bacon, or like 2 packs of bacon a day type shit, where he's eating 2 packs of bacon a fucking day, and getting the fuck after it too, like riding a bike. Oh my god, doing sprints on a bike, like I love Cole, but like he's said so much valuable shit, you know? It's kind of bittersweet to see this path that he's gone down, because it's like, dude, the the ketogenic carnivore diet is way fucking better, and it's just, man, he was onto so much good shit with all that. With even fasting was pretty good. Fasting and ketogenic diets, that was so fucking good. But dude, the sugarivore diet, no, no, man. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Man, the sugarivore fucking diet, dude. That was like, he's rocking with that, and I know he's gonna just do it long term, where he's just eating sugar and candy and fucking fruit as a staple. Like, no, you gotta have like protein, and you gotta have animal fat and shit. And no, not fat acceptance bullshit. He says the carnivore diet is fat acceptance movement. Fuck that. No, no, Cole, no, no. I I wish him the fucking best, because I feel like he's genuinely fucking helped people. But it's a double edged fucking sword with Cole Robinson, with the fucking, oh my god, with the sugarivore diet, dude. Sugar fasting, no. Oh my god. That is like, dude, he I can't even express to you guys because it's like so many of you guys are probably out of the loop, and this video probably won't get that many fucking views to begin with. So I can't really talk about this shit with anyone, but it's like this is a huge fucking thing. And the sugarvore diet, no, like the fucking keto diet is way, way fucking better. It's way fucking better. Way fucking better. You get protein, you get fucking animal fat. I haven't done the sugarvore diet. I haven't done just straight sugar. I don't fucking want to. I could understand how that might make you jacked up and all that shit, like, but fuck that. No. They don't even look. I'm so. They look way better when they do carnivore, when they do ketosis, when they do that shit. They look way better, healthier than when they're just doing straight fucking sugar, man. Because the straight sugar, it just depletes you of so much. And it kind of sucks because, I'm not like ripped right now. I'm not a low body fat or whatever, but like I would like to be able to talk some sense into them. But yeah, that train has left. That train has fucking departed, and I just hope that Cole doesn't stick with it and turns back to fucking keto at some point and fucking abandons that shit and starts pumping out the fucking low carb fucking keto diets and shit again, because that was way fucking cooler and way better. And so I want to get back onto that type of shit, the fucking keto, cutting with a ketogenic zero carb diet. Holy shit, that is oh my god. Yeah. That is some of the best things I've ever experienced ever. Is just ketosis. I and I want to get back to that. And it's like lately I've been sort of tapping back into it with this shift that I made in the past few days, and I really want to start getting really back into it. So maybe I'll start trying to, if I can lose weight and shit, I want to help other people fucking lose weight, and that's a goal of mine. So yes, and I don't want to charge people either. So this might be an archival video that people look back on maybe one day. Maybe, I don't know. Um, but I just want to start pumping out videos. So maybe I'll start getting traction at some point. It might take a while. I don't expect you guys to watch all this shit if you don't want to. I don't want that kind of support. Like, I don't want people to feel like they gotta watch them. Like, if they're my friends or whatever, I don't care. Um, I want people who feel genuinely interested, or like, who really want to watch them, and I I think I might be able to get some sort of audience at some point. It might take a while though. Um, I made a Jordan Peterson video, and that video got some traction, but it's really just like what I kind of want out of this is like I would like to be able to make my own living sort of, but I don't know if this will fucking be my thing. I would like to be able to make videos and have discussions and do something, and um I don't know where this will go. Um but I'd really like to start making videos, and I'd really like to start making videos with some other people. Um like Cameron Haynes. The thing with Cameron Haynes and his podcast is like he specifically has outliers on his podcast. I feel like pretty much, and so it's like he's kind of specific. He's kind of picky about who he has on his podcast. I feel like he doesn't just have anyone on, but I don't know if I'll have the same approach. But I think there's something to that, about um, curating your guests that you talk to, who's willing to as well, and I would like to be able to have discussions with like um, I I guess I'd like to have discussions with more people too, and be able to kind of broaden the scope and stuff. So um, yeah, I don't like not being able to talk to people. So yeah, okay. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment something fucking random as fuck. I don't know. I don't give a fuck if you leave a like. I just appreciate what I like the most is when people engage in my videos and leave comments and stuff. So thank you guys so much. Um, thank you for watching. If you watch the entire fucking thing, I don't know. Thank you. Even if you just clicked on this video, thank you. Thank you so much. Peace.